Hello, beautiful family, One Global Movement family. Thank you guys so much again for being here, for taking the time out of your own schedule to be here. And that shows our commitment to serve humanity, serving women, children, and young people, because that is what it takes. When we say we want to serve, action is what is required, taking little steps, little action. And this is the 1st of January. We want to do it and set a pace that we're going to maintain and then keep adding onto that and move forward to a better day and better years to come, because we are here for life. Because anything that concerns children, women, and young people, it is always there. That is the way God created it from creation. So thank you guys so much. Continue to encourage your children, your family, your spouses, your community, your villages to be here. This is the place to be. If you love your children, you love your family, this is the place to be. We want these children to know that there is a place for them. Regardless of what happens in the world, regardless of the disappointments that they face, there is a place for them. And it starts with us coming together to do things from the heart, to do things knowing that a child is a child regardless of where they are born, regardless of where they come from, regardless of their language, regardless of whatever their level of education. A child is a child. Like my mom and my grandmother always said, a child is a child, a mother is a mother. Wherever you go in the world, look for your mother, and that will be your mother. And therefore, we are global mothers to every child here. And we don't know it all, but we always seek to know, because sometimes when they come here, they say something or they write something that would trigger something in us that we did not quite know or we might have forgotten, and then we get back on track. So this is very, very important. And do well. Let us hit those algorithms here like never before. You can hit it several times. Say, I will hit it today, every show, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. That is some of the most simple things that you can do that is also still transforming this population in the world. It's not just all about money. When you bring those algorithms, you bring material needs, you bring other things. When we put these things together, then we will, because we are treating the holistic person here, not just part of it. And that is why we are defeating hunger, illiteracy, poverty, build generational while living a life of leadership and purpose. So we are so happy. I'm really so happy. Okay. I'm really so happy. And so we are in, today is Thursday, January 8th. Can you believe that? Oh, wow.
I know.
So One Global Movement Revolution Part 402. Service starts at home series 2. Remember, we are still in that series. Service starts at home series 2. What children learn without being taught. How tone, how we talk, how we do things, modeling and presence transmit values. What children learn without being taught. How tone, modeling, and presence transmit values. And we're just going to be doing our thing here, chit-chatting, and that is the way we want to do it. So it's become relaxing. And I'm going to give the chance to Sister Yvonne, because she is the crafter of these topics, which took a lot out of my plate with her doing this. So, Sister, the floor.
All right, sister. Thank you. So I forgot that when we started this series, which is just this is the second part of the series, we didn't really ground as to what service really is. So I just have a simple little definition of what it is. So it says, what is service? And the simplest definition is the action of helping or doing work for someone. That's all it is. But the important part of that is how you do it, right? With a good attitude. That's the important part. And so the greatest being that ever walked the face of this earth said he came to serve and not to be served. And that he wants us to follow that example, right? Yet for some of us, it's the most difficult thing for us to do without strings attached or without the idea of what's in it for me. Yep. But service should not be like that, right? That's why we're talking about how it's modeled. And of course, these concepts are always modeled first in the home. And Sister Yvonne, Mundih and I were talking about it earlier, and we said, we don't sit down and have a big lesson and talk about this. Is the children, the young people around us are watching as we do it. And that's how they're learning it, right?
Right.
And one of the things that we have to make sure that we know that there is no service that's demeaning. Don't put these labels on service. Oh, that's for high and that's for low. Service is what is needed in the time when it's needed. And so as part of the home, if you have one child, well, that's different. But if you have multiple children, then you can rotate how the service is done. So we're creating the tone and just how it's done, as the topic says, right? It's learn without being taught. Every moment that you're with your children, it's a learning, a teaching moment, right?
Right.
The tone that you use when you ask somebody to do something, or when somebody asks you to do it, or even just how you do it, how you respond when somebody says, can you do this or whatever, right? So we model that. And presence transmit values.
Right.
Because we're supposed to be present when we're doing that service. Do not let the person feel that they're a burden, right? That is another dangerous thing we have. We don't want to feel put upon, right?
Right.
So the Bible teaches us that service is central to faith and purpose. We all came to serve. If we tell that to our young people, they're never too young. And I think one of the things, I know I did it with children, is that we tend to send them away when they want to be involved in stuff.
Yeah.
We don't, they want to help you wash the dishes, but you can do it fast and be done with it, right? But that's not the idea, right? It's to let them know that they're part of this service that runs the home, the space that you are in. You put a little stool and they climb up there and they feel belonging, right?
Right.
And it might lead to other things while you're doing that. So another way we can do it is to rotate whatever service we're asking them to do. One day somebody might do something like taking out the trash or whatever, and somebody might put away dishes, so that they learn, that nobody is having any hierarchy of service. So I'm going to leave it there for Sister jump in, Sister Melanie or whatever, because it's a discussion. So we don't want to just do a presentation, right? So,
yes, right.
Yeah. Thank you, Sister Yvonne.
you.
That parents, we are role models for our children.
We are.
And whatever we do, they observe us.
Yes,
children learn crucial values and behaviors without direct teaching, through modeling.
Yeah.
They observe social cues, emotion, skills by just watching parent and others. So with the presence emphasizing deliberate attention and living values authentically to make these lessons stick, fostering empathy, respect, and gratitude through living example. We need to show them examples. We don't need to shout. Whatever we do, they watch us. If we do wrong, they will imitate the behavior that we have. So we can watch them learning without taught, because they don't need to be instructed. They just need to see how we behave. And they learn like social emotion skills, right vis-a-vis wrong. All these children need them without being taught. Because how to share, take turns, express frustration, build connection, and understand social cues by mimicking or gestures, turns, and facial expression. All this, they observe and they see. Children develop a moral compass by seeing the consequences of others' actions, and learning acceptable behavior is in the environment. So, even environment teach them. So we need to be near them to know what they are taking, so that they may separate good and wrong. So the cause and effect, they learn what action leads to positive or negative outcome through imitation and observation, shaping their decision making. So whatever they observe can have consequences on their decision making. So we need to train them so that we become the parents of tomorrow, following what they do. And remember, we always sing this verse that we find in Proverbs chapter 6, verse 24. That said, train your children when they are still young. Even when they become mature, they will not depart from what they have learned. So we need to be near our children. The life skills, practical skills like communication, conflict resolution, and emotional regulation are often absorbed from the home environment. So it's at home that they learn everything. How modeling transmit values. This observational learning there is I was reading a psychologist called Albert Bandura's theories. He spoke about lights that children learn by watching and imitating others in their environment, like home, schools, and TV. And he said that through authenticity, consistency, attentive awareness, all that can bring children to come up to understand the environment and to build their skills. By authenticity, he said, when parents model desired behaviors like saying please and thank you or showing gratitude, children internationalize these values as part of their own character.
Yes, they do. Yes,
they do.
Yeah. Yes, they do. They own them. And consistency, repeatedly exposure to positive behavior, it helps children quickly learn and integrate them, fostering them core values like altruism and respect. So let me tell you one thing. Children learn more at home than at school. The home is the basic education. We cannot think that bringing our children to school, the educators are there to give them the value. No, it has to start from home. When they learn from what we do, they become really mature people who are responsible to take their own decision.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Well said, beautiful ladies. Thank you guys so much. You know, service starts at home. It's very important. What children learn without being taught. How tone, modeling, presence, transmit values. Like Sister Yvonne Finn said, when we started, we were already talking behind the scene as though we are in the show.
Yes.
The sacredness of bringing up a child at home. And we need to know that presence or no presence, so long as it is your own child, that child, whatever you do out there, the vibration hits that child because that child is connected to you as blood. And so we watch out how we behave in society. And so that you don't get it. But it all starts from the home. So now I will start with opening truth. The silent curriculum. Silent curriculum, very important. Children are always learning, even when we are not teaching them. Remember that. Especially when we are not even aware. You know, my son, when he comes back from school, I'm giving an example because it's good to give these examples so we're not just talking. When he comes, he makes sure he observes me. I didn't know that he was doing that until another child, Ngwe, told me, Mommy, do you know that Al observes you so much? And then when he observed and said, Mommy, have you been okay? Okay.
Yes.
So they are learning. They know you when you twist your face a little bit. Are you okay? So and they start very young. And what we should all remember is that children grow by learning from us. We were the same. Because if you don't learn from your parents or the immediate adults in your environment, who else are you going to learn from? It starts from the home. So there is a curriculum no school can design ever. And that's the curriculum that we were born with. We were created with. No school can design. It's only you and I. Even like, say, in the situation where some parents are giving away their children. Not to say you shouldn't give away your children if you cannot raise those children. But in a situation where some parents, because they want to do some other things, they decide for other people to raise their children. What you're doing is you are inviting somebody else's values and cultures in your child. Tomorrow, there will be a gap between you and your child because you did not raise your child. Maybe it's because of lack of food. But guess what? If you have only one food item to eat, it might not be healthy or nutritious at that point in time. But when you eat that food with your child consistently, continuously, and put it in the hands of God, that God will make that food healthy because you're eating, you're going through that situation because it's just a moment in life that we go through. But your child is going through you. What you're teaching that child? You're teaching that child perseverance, patience, resilience, or
Yes.
really thanking God for the one thing that you have, because that one thing will multiply. This is very, very important, because a lot of
It is.
parents, they would like to give their children for other people to raise because it's so expensive here. Find an environment where you and your children will dwell well, regardless of the limited resources that you have. So there is a curriculum no school can ever design.
This is true.
Yes, and no government can
Legislate it. They can't. They can't.
and no textbook can replace it. We all know
Absolutely.
it is
You're
a
right.
Yes.
silent curriculum written
Yes.
in tone,
Yes.
created in our behavior, and absorbed through our presence and the presence of those children. And so one global movement here says children do not grow into that way, into that which we say. They grow into what they
See, we're doing. Yes.
see. And we need to really take this seriously, because that affects their
The
subconscious
mental health. Yes.
mental health and their subconscious mind.
Yes.
and
Yes.
and
Yes.
so we want to start it, even though it takes time to raise a child, because when you don't tell something to a child and expect that child to understand it right away and start implementing it, I bet
No.
you, my
Yes.
son is 4. Some of the things that I taught him, I start seeing them now coming up. I say,
There
wow.
you go.
So
There
it
you go.
looks- and now he's doing them, practicing them. And
Yep.
as a young man, young people are so agile, and they're so anxious to get married to a good woman, or get married to
Sister Yvonne, Sister Melanie mentioned something about training the child, that proverb, the 26th verse, that training the child. And it doesn't mean that they're always going to do it, but it will always be there. And I think it's something that they will always revert back to, because something in the culture now called peer parenting, which is when the teenagers, the Gen Zers, the Gen Alphas, they really are being brought up by one another because they're a tribe, right? But somehow, if that formation is there, I've noticed, they somehow will come back to that, and so that other influence will fall away. Whereas if you went out there and tried to be their friends for them, which is something some adults do, which never works. If you tell this child that they can't have those people as friends, that's the ones that they want.
will have.
Yes.
Yes.
So you don't do that.
Yes.
You do your job in the beginning, as Sister Melanie said, when they're young. You form those ideas with them. They see the value of that. So even when they go there and they're persuaded otherwise, somehow they gravitate back to what you taught them.
Yes.
Yes.
And love. When a child feels it, they know it, they see it.
Yeah.
That child can not go wrong. They will go and experiment just like every other child would do.
Yes,
They're gonna
absolutely.
fall back on those.
You're frozen a little bit, sister, but it's okay. I hope you will get unfrozen. So yeah, Sister Melanie, I think we have that kind of influence, if you want to call it that, by being true to ourselves, right?
Yes, yes. And you know, whatever we do, our children want guidance and examples of how they will act. You know, they want to act. And when you are always there for them, they act correctly. They act correctly. Yes. Because we actually, parents are the foundation for the morals.
Yes, we are.
Reason why we need to be there. Yes. Yeah.
And that's why I was saying that even when they go out there and they get, sidetracked a little bit and they go down the wrong path, somehow, I don't know, it just kicks in. It just kicks in and they start doing the things that we say, thank heavens.
Yes.
We laid the groundwork. You know what I mean? So yeah, I really, really think that these topics are going to be helpful, and we have to, direct our young people to these great topics that we have, and let them know that we're on their side, right?
Yes, and when parents are always available for their children, it influences a child's happiness and security. They feel secured because they have grown with a particular love that they get from their parents.
Exactly. And I was surprised because when I was doing some research, it says that children, young people, contrary to what the culture says, they love boundaries. They love to know what is the framework that they're working with. Because I think we all feel like that. Well, if somebody gives you a project, you know, as
Yes.
an adult working person, you want to know what the parameters are when they need
Yes.
it, you know. Yeah. So it's the same thing with our young
Yes.
people. We want to know. It's a sense of belonging, isn't it? They know that I belong to this
Yes.
home, this tribe. We care about one another. This is what we do or don't do. And so the idea that children like to be brought up without any kind of restrictions or whatever, I don't think that holds from what I'm seeing. They like,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it
Because you
takes
know that children grows in the environment. Apart the parent, they can also learn from other adults, like teachers, like coach, like other relatives, like peers. It helps them understanding the world. But parents are the first teachers.
It is the adults that are
Yes.
tasked with being the caregivers. Children look to
Yes.
us for how they should
Yes.
act or whatever,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
has to be consistent, though. You know what I mean? You can't be
Yes.
one day this and the next day that. You know, that
Yes.
is not good either. It's better you're not involved then, because if you're going to do that,
Yes.
that is just
Yeah.
confusion. But
Yeah.
if you're consistent, even if you're firm, because you know, when I was growing up, my parents were pretty firm, pretty strict, you want to call it that. But I didn't suffer any ill effects from that. As you grow older, you kind of take your own choices and you know, you just work on that. But you have the framework. That's the
Yes.
most important. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the most important part. I don't know what has happened to our sister. She's fallen by the wayside.
Yeah. She had a problem of connectivity,
I'm
maybe.
sorry, guys.
Do
I'm
we have
sorry.
people?
She's
Yes.
back.
Welcome back.
Yes, I
Well,
had to put my
Yes.
hotspot. I'm really sorry. These people are messing around with me sometimes. I'm
that's
sorry,
okay.
guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are
Yeah,
here.
we chatted away. We chatted away.
So
So
yes,
welcome back.
yes. So the emotional
Yeah.
language of the home is very, very important. Before a child
Yes.
understands words, a child understands tone. Tone teaches
Yes.
safety or fear.
Yes.
Worth teaches them self-esteem, high self-esteem or low self-esteem or shame. It does
Yeah.
that a lot. And
Yes.
belonging or rejection. That is what tone teaches. What kind of tone are you
Yes.
using? I know that I have a very high voice, but that high voice comes with love, with
Oh
intimacy,
yes.
with everything. So we
Oh
know
yes.
your children should know who you are. That is why
Yeah.
when they know who you are, they know that mommy is mad, daddy's mad, or daddy's very happy, daddy loves me. So those things are very,
Yes.
very simple
Yes.
things. Let's do
Yes.
those things.
That's true.
Yes.
That's very true, my
And
sister.
remember,
Yes.
when children grow, they will always remember what you are doing for them. Because
Yes.
as for my children, when they sit together, they will say, remember when mom came from work, if you have done something wrong, and he said, so and so, you will know what you have done. You say, oh my God, what have I done? So they know your turn. They know
They
when
do.
they have done wrong and you address yourself to them, they will understand what you are telling them.
That is true.
Yep.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is
Yeah.
true. So this is so beautiful. I'm telling you. Wow. Even like I used to say, a little baby. You hold a little baby, and the baby beats you then on your nipple while breastfeeding, and then you go like this. Ouch! The baby too treats the face, and it's a baby. How do they know? Because
That's so funny when they do that, you know. It's like they're empathizing with you, but they don't really
yes,
know what they did because that is not part of their thing yet. But eventually,
yes. Yes. And if you guys have not put any hashtag, please do. Hashtag One Global Movement. Always,
yeah,
if you can put it several times,
always,
please,
yeah.
let's feed those algorithms. If you haven't done so, please go ahead and do it. Hashtag One Global Movement. Hashtag Building Hopes and Dreams. Hashtag Defeating Hunger. Hashtag Defeating Illiteracy. Hashtag Defeating Poverty. Or however you write it, please, let's do that. Hashtag Building Hope. Hashtag Building hashtag planting seeds of hope, hashtag planting seeds of prosperity. And I do that every single day, at least once. Sometimes I do it several times. So let us keep hitting those algorithms. The AI takes note of those things and then starts to send resources towards us that will help us because they already know who we are, what we are doing here. So please let us
Yes,
all
they
do
do.
that.
Yes, they do.
The
Yes, they
like
do.
button, like button too.
Just remember to make sure that it's all one running in together. If you separate it, it doesn't affect the when you
Yes.
hashtag, it should be all just one word, no matter how long it is, right? Yeah.
Yep. So thank you, Mr. Barilla, for being with us here today, as always. And I'm praying and hoping that your appointment went well yesterday. Thank you so much, John.
Yeah.
And of course, thanks to my two beautiful sisters here. We are so happy that the sister Melanie is here.
Is able to make it. Yes, Sister Melanie.
Yes,
Good to see you.
2026 is going to be great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Level. So our Facebook page, we're going to be creating 2 more Facebook pages for a Taste of Motherland and the Womb of Humanity. That will complement One Global Movement. So I'm waiting on the website developer to finish the website and then and pick up after that too. Okay, he's working on all our social media handles. So thank you so much. And this is our donate now. This is our donation link until we build a website, and now we come out with our own donation links, because this one, they're helping us, but they're also taking a fee, which is still good for now. So thank you so much. And of course, a special thank you to you, Sister Yvonne and Melanie. Thank you. And this is Branda. How are you, sir? Thank you so much. It's been a while. If you're new here, please, we know what to do. Let us subscribe to keep these principles of One Global Movement moving to every child in the world. And share, subscribe, share, turn on the notification bell, and like. Our Queen Nancy, hello, Nancy. How are you? Nancy is one of those that we're going to be pulling her legs here very soon too as well.
Yes.
And our brother from the sunny Pretoria, Brother Levy, thank you so much, sir, for always being here with us and supporting women, children, and young people. Nancy says, hello to my wonderful panelists. Thank you for the continuous support and encouragement to our children to help erase the word giving up in their calendar.
Amen.
Thank you. And let's go down. Let me not miss anybody. Our family is always here. So thank you guys so much. We highly appreciate everything that you guys are doing here. We'll give the floor to Sister Melanie to close.
Yes.
So we're going to push everything.
Yes. In closing, I will say that parents are crucial to the growth of the children, but especially mothers. Mothers play the role of child's first teacher, and her teachings will guide children through all along the journey of life. So we need to be present to our children so that we help them to build values that will lead them in their lives.
Amen.
Thank you so much. That was a wonderful closing with thank you. We love you all. Until next week, stay well and stay blessed.
Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I'm leaving.